Hello and happy Vlogmas! I wanted to jump on today and share with you a recipe, which is something I haven't done before, but it's my favourite recipe, and so I wanted to share it with you, and we could have a chit chat whilst I make some cinnamon buns. So in the bowl I've got all the dry ingredients. All the ingredients will be listed down below in the down bar, including the recipe. So the dry ingredients that I have in the bowl are 3 cups of plain flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of cardamom, ground cardamom, 2.5 teaspoons of dry yeast and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And it's all mixed together. I have melted some salted butter. It doesn't matter whether you use salted or unsalted, but I like to have La Pack, and that comes slightly salted. And I've melted that in a pan. There we go. It's not cooked, it's just melted. And the amount of butter I put in there is 1/4 cup, although it's the only ingredient that I put in solid and I slice it, so I don't use cups for that particular measurement. I weigh it and it's 56 grams. I'm going to put in the milk into the pan and warm them both. The amount of milk that I use is 1 cup, and I'm going to put that back on the heat. So now we just wait for it to warm up. I don't want it very hot, but I want it hot enough that I can put my hand in, and we will add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients and give it a little bit of a mix round. It's a very simple recipe. There are more difficult ways of doing it, and I have tried lots of different ways, but it hasn't really made a difference to me when I'm cooking, so I like to go with ease. I wonder if there's anything I want to say about the things that I use. The only thing, I use Alison's yeast. This is the dried active yeast in the yellow and orange container. I don't use the green one, which has got an additional raising agent. I know it's quicker, but I stick with this one. The main reason that I use that one is that I ordered it on Amazon, and I thought I was ordering one, but there were 20. So I have 20 packets of that to get through, which is quite funny. So I will continue to use that one until it is all gone. I think I've got through 2, and I reckon they're going to go off before I get through all of them. I make lots of bread and lots of doughs, sweet things, so I'm hopeful. Alright, if you put some liquid that's too hot in with the yeast, you kill the yeast. So it needs to not be boiling. It needs to be warm enough that I can put my finger in without burning it. If I was going to put the yeast directly into that melted butter with the milk, then I would have it at a lower temperature. But because the yeast is in with all the other dry ingredients, I can get away with that little bit hotter. So there have been no bubbles, it hasn't been boiling or simmering, it's just all melted together and it's nice and warm. A little bit hotter than a bath. Alright, I like to use a knife to mix up, and then we tip it onto a surface and give it a good knead. She's quite soft, quite elastic. And a little bit sticky, so I give her a roll in some flour. And I pop her back into the same bowl. Cover with cling film. And I like to wrap in a nice warm tea towel. And then I'm going to pop my little baby by the radiator. So there we go. She's going to sleep there for 1 to 2 hours until she's doubled in size. So I'll keep checking on her. Until she's done. Well, my little blob has been sitting there a while and she's about doubled in size. So I am going to tip her out, roll her out, and we can do the fun twisty part. Sorry, the camera's there. The fun twisty part. That is my favourite part. Well, except for the eating. The eating is, let's be honest, the best part. But I'll show you how I roll it and sprinkle it with sugar. I must say, I do not measure. I have got measurements in the instructions in the recipe, but I don't measure this. I do it just by eye. And I just like to slap as much butter as I can, cover in sugar, sprinkle in cinnamon. We're done. I must say, in life, I'm not really a recipe person. If I can get away with doing it without a recipe and just going with how it feels, then I trust my instinct, and I'm happy with it. Not everything. Alright, so that is about 60 across and 30 deep. And now we have to smear. Butter was a little bit too cold to start with, so I did heat it up and it went on much better. This is too thick a smearing if it were on toast, but perfect if it were on a hot cross bun. And then I sprinkle on cinnamon. All over. And then the caster sugar. Oh, now we get to do the folding. So whichever is the messier line, I fold in thirds. And then I fold up. You do get a little bit of slippage on the sugar, so you just want to be quite quick. That is lovely. Attempt to get it to line up on the ends. cutting. Now I find that the ends need a thicker cut than the middle. Middle, I tend to go with 5/8 of an inch to 3/4. And then I can feel this is much thinner. I would go with inch, 1.25 inches. Now ideally, the thickness would be even throughout. And I always try, it just never works. So as soon as I feel that it's getting a bit thinner, I just go with thicker slices. Onions. To be honest, I just eat them raw, but there we go. Alright, we want to twist them. Wrap them round. And pop them under. Twist. Around and under. So I will cover these in cling film and leave them to rest 20-30 minutes, and then I will give them a glaze, put them in the oven. Now they do not rise usually when I leave them for half an hour, especially not in the winter. I have a really cold house. Sometimes they rise a little, but in general they don't. They do their rising in the oven, and they will be beautiful. Now the only thing left to do is glaze them. They've been resting 20-30 minutes. And I'm going to glaze them with an egg wash. And then I'm going to put some pearl sugar. And pearl sugar is what makes it so beautiful. So this is the pearl sugar. It's those lovely little stones of sugar, little pearls. Oops. Sugar. And I just give a little spoon. Okay. In at 180. There we go. All done. And they are lovely. There's a nice one. Very lovely.